Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something absolutely critical for anyone building or, securing AI, and that's red teaming. Yeah, it's a term you've probably heard thrown around a lot, but we're going to break down what it really means and why it's the key to building AI safety that, actually works.
All right, let's just start with the core philosophy here, the whole reason this thing even exists. Break it before attackers do. That single phrase, it just captures everything, doesn't it? This isn't about sitting back and waiting for something to go wrong. No, it's about having the guts and the foresight to try and break your own system. It's about finding those weak spots before someone with bad intentions finds them for you.
So, okay, how do you actually do that? Well, it all starts with a pretty fundamental shift in how you think. This is not just another technical task you can check off a list. No way. It's really about adopting a completely different mindset when it comes to securing your systems.
What we're really talking about here is being proactive. It's a proactive defense strategy. So instead of just building up walls and kind of hoping they're high enough, red teaming is like hiring a team of experts to find all the secret tunnels, all the weak spots in those walls. The whole point, the crucial part, is to get ahead of the curve. You want to anticipate what the bad guys are going to do and patch those holes before they ever get a chance to exploit them.
Okay, so how exactly do you think like an attacker? In a structured way, because it's one thing to say it, right? It's way more than just a mindset. It actually involves a specific set of tools and techniques. The whole thing builds into a real methodology.
Let's just look at the official definition for a second. Actively probing AI models to discover hidden vulnerabilities and potentially dangerous behaviors. What's so interesting here are the key words. Actively probing. That means you're not passive, you are on the offensive. Hidden vulnerabilities. This one's huge because it admits that the biggest risks are the ones you can't even see on the surface. And then you have dangerous behaviors, which, covers the whole shebang, from generating harmful content all the way to leaking sensitive data.
And this probing thing, it takes a lot of different forms. For instance, red teams use all kinds of techniques. You've got jailbreaks. These are basically super clever prompts designed to trick the model into ignoring its own safety rules. Then there's prompt injection, which is where an attacker tries to hijack the AI's original instructions and make it do something else. And of course, data exfiltration tests, which are all about trying to fool the model into spilling private info it should never ever share.
But here's a really important distinction. Professional red teaming. It's not just a few people in a room randomly trying to break stuff. Not at all. It is a structured, systematic process. It relies on these things called safety evaluation suites. And you can think of those like a standardized obstacle course for the AI, specifically designed to test its limits in a really consistent way. And why is that important? Well, it allows for rigorous testing, super clear reporting, and it lets you check if a fix for one problem accidentally created a new one somewhere else. That's what we call regression testing.
So finding a vulnerability, that's a huge step. But honestly, it's only half the battle. The real value, the part that actually matters, comes from what you do next. Because let's be real, discovering a problem without a plan to fix it, you're just admiring the problem at that point. So this is where we turn those findings into actual fixes.
And that all happens through this really critical action loop. So first up, you create playbooks. What does that mean? For every kind of vulnerability you find, you write down a clear step-by-step response plan. Next, you log every single incident. This builds up this amazing knowledge base so you're not constantly reinventing the wheel. And finally, you fix the issue. And then, and this part is absolutely key, you retest it. You have to make sure your solution actually worked and didn't break something else in the process.
And all of this, it brings us to what might just be the most important takeaway from this whole thing. All these tools, all these processes, they all point to a much bigger idea. And that is the shift away from seeing safety as just a one-time action, and instead embracing it as a continuous culture. The contrast here could not be more stark. The ineffective way, it treats safety like a final checkbox you just tick off right before launch. It's an event. It's totally reactive. But the effective, modern approach, it sees safety as a routine process. It's almost like brushing your teeth. You just do it. It's a continuous, integrated habit that's woven into the entire development lifecycle from start to finish. It is fundamentally proactive.
So the crucial question I want to leave you with is this. When you think about the AI systems that you build or that you use or that you rely on every day, is their safety being treated as a one-time event, or is it a deep, continuous, and proactive process? Because as we've just seen, one of those approaches is just checking a box. The other one, well, that's what actually works.